in the studio because he just barked. Hello, Motley. Is he going to do it again? No, he's not going to do it again. Doesn't bark on order, I don't know. Before that, we had Beyonce as well. And, of course, that was your cue to call, Motley barking, to give us a call. Tony Cruz from TC Dog Training in Gallywood is here with Motley the dog, and he's answering all your doggy-related questions this morning through until 12 o'clock. So you can give us a call on 01702 45 50 60 is the number of the call. You can text us, text us and your message to 60300. Send us an email via the website, or even go on the Sunday Live Trace Scuba Facebook page and send us a doggy question for Tony. Don't forget, of course, you're also listening out for Paradise by Coldplay for your chance to win a pair of tickets to go and see Avenue Q at the Kiss Pavilion. Tony Cruz is here with Motley the dog. Good morning.
Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning. What a lovely morning for dog walking.
It's fantastic. I've just been for a lovely walk down Southend Seafront.
Beautiful. Busy?
It is a little bit. It's getting busy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it shocked everyone, this weather.
Yeah, because they did say earlier in the week it was going to rain today. Now it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's great, yeah. It's not too hot either, so it's good dog walking weather.
Good dog walking weather. So all doggy things coming up very, very shortly after music from Take That.
Sunday Live with Essex Chambers of Commerce. More in tune with business than any other organisation.
Oh, you can't beat a bit of Take That, can you? Playing just great songs. This is Sunday Live, 25 past 11. Delighted to welcome back to the studio Tony Cruz, dog trainer to dog stars across the world, and Motley the dog, who's sat in the corner drinking a very large bowl of water. Galley Woofers is the club. Tony's a regular guest, takes all your doggy questions. So if you've got a doggy question, get yourself on the email or on the phone now. We've had one sent in via text from Marjorie in Southwood and Ferrers. She says, hello, Tony. Delightful you're back on the programme. We love having you back as well on the programme. Hello, Marjorie. And she says, with summer coming up, is there anything special I need to be aware of whilst out walking my dog?
Yes, a good point, actually. Seasonal-based questions are always good. We mentioned earlier that the weather is a little bit on the hot side, or it can certainly get that way, with any luck.
Fingers crossed.
So first thing, just avoid, exceptional temperatures. I mean, sort of around sort of noon time, when the sun is at, full heat. So that's when we start walking our dogs a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later as well. So just be aware of temperatures that can affect a dog, especially black dogs and hairy dogs. They're not great at regulating their heat in direct sunshine. So just be aware of that for the walks. And also another seasonal issue is grass seeds. It's something that can be a bane of a dog owner's life. Grass seeds are exceptionally aggressive. If they lay sort of dormant in a dog's paw or in a dog's ear, they tend to grow in. Yeah, very nasty. A little bit like an arrow. It just goes in. It's very difficult to get out. So what I'm recommending to all my class, do little vet checks on a regular basis. So every week, just check your dog over. And what you're looking for is any differences in the limbs, any lumps or bumps, and at the same time you can check for grass seeds as well. So in between the paws, in the ears, up the nose as well, any places like that where a seed could just lie there, just check for those. And whilst you're checking the dog, just make it a nice experience. Give your dog a little treat every time you sort of touch their paw, and it's a little bit of bonding as well. So just keep an eye on things like that.
And you need to carry plenty of water as well, don't you, when you're out on the walks?
Yeah, always have water in your car. It was a good idea. I mean, always have a plastic bottle of water in the car for emergencies as well. There's been many occasions I've been stuck on the M25.
Haven't we all?
Yes, we've all been there. And if you've got a dog on board, it's even more of a problem. So you've got to think ahead with journeys as well. Yeah, so good point.
And a dog trainer once said to me about dogs and hot weather and water, if they're not drinking it, they're wearing it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. They do like their water. Jumping into water is another thing that a lot of dogs, believe it or not, can actually smell water, and they actually go out sniffing for water, actually leafing into water. But yeah, they do like to get wet in the hot sunshine. Yeah.
Oh, my dog Flash. Oh, he loves water. A few weeks ago, I had a proper Fenton moment. You know Fenton the dog running away on camera on YouTube. We've just moved out to Barling, and there was a beautiful angling lake up behind the house, and Flash went running at this angling lake, and we came running up behind him screaming, "Flash, Flash, Flash!" And he dived, we put his paws together salmon-like, and dived straight into this angling pool and got us some very nasty looks from a lot of the anglers whose fish they'd just disturbed. But yeah, dogs do like a swim, don't they?
They do. It sounds like a perfect dive to me. Do they not give maybe 10 for
Do you know what? He was better than Tom Daly, frankly.
10 for style.
Exactly.
For Flash.
Any questions for Tony? Give us a call, 01702 45 50 60. Text Essex, then your message to 60300, or of course send us a message through the Facebook page or via the website. We're waiting to hear from you. Buggles now. Video killed the radio star. Listen out for that. Tony Cruz, the dog trainer, is here taking all your questions on the phone, email, text. They're coming in like mad. A lady in Southend, Alice, sent us an email saying she's got a real problem with her dog pulling. How can you stop your dog pulling so much, Tony?
Okay, yeah, it's quite a common problem, purely the fact that dogs walk a lot quicker than we do. So it's always going to be a little bit of an issue when you first get a dog. But the way we try and make a loose lead or a slack lead to be rewarding. So every time the lead is slack, tell your dog, good boy, good girl, and they get a little treat. So you're making it very rewarding to be in that place where you want your dog to be in. And also, if they do pull, what I suggest is just stopping. Let the dog get to the end of the lead, where they get a little bit bored. They think, well, this isn't getting me anywhere. They look back, they give you a bit of a slack lead, and then take another step forward, and you might reward that because it's a slack lead. So we're always looking for rewarding a slack lead or, you know, a loose lead. Make it extremely rewarding. There are little bits of equipment you can buy. If you've got a particularly big dog, there's some nice head collars that you can buy. Basically, if you control the head, you control the rest of the dog.
Yeah.
There are occasions when you get, you know, a large dog. It's a little bit unmanageable. So initially, part of the training, look at managing it. You know, looking at a little bit of equipment, because you can still reward. You know, you still reward the sack lead, but it just makes it a little bit easier to guide the dog. Harnesses are quite good as well. If you're going to get harness, I recommend a front fitting harness. If the dog does pull, it just gently guides the dog back around. I think there is a bit of a consensus regarding back-fitting harnesses. They could encourage the dog to pull. I mean, if you look at a husky, the way a husky pulls a sled, it's connected to the back of the dog. So if you're looking at harnesses, I always recommend the front-fitting ones, but there are lots out there, so do a little bit of research in that. But equipment is a good thing if it helps you manage a situation and it helps you train a situation.
Anything to particularly avoid?
I'm not a great fan of choke chains or check chains, call them what you will. It can give the dog the wrong message. Basically, the dog runs to the end of it, they get a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort. Now, for example, if the dog's running towards another dog and straight away they get some discomfort, they're not going to particularly like that other dog then, because they associate that other dog with the discomfort. So if they're already a little bit scared of dogs, and a lot of dogs actually show a little bit of aggression because they're scared of the dog, they go a little bit proactive, so they go in front of you, and then A, they're scared of the dog, B, they get a nasty jolt on the neck. So by now they really hate that dog. So you're setting up the dog to, you know, dislike things. So
that's not good.
No. I mean, there's far better ways of using equipment these days. I mean, a collar in the wrong hands can be bad, but you know, we try and get the dog to be in the appropriate place. We try and reward the dog rather than punish the dog all the time. You'll find a dog that's constantly checked. A, they get neck problems, they'll get spine problems, and they'll often be quite reactive because they're just walking in fear, basically.
Yeah.
They're scared of everything around them. All they've been told is no. They don't offer any behaviour, and you get a rather miserable, often reactive dog. So
that's not good.
No, so throw away your choke chains and give a good dog trainer a call instead.
That sounds good to me. Music now from Ed Sheeran. This is Lego House on Sunday Live. Keep those questions coming.
And out of all these things I've done, I will love you better now.
Ed Sheeran, Lego House on Sunday Live. Tony Cruz, the dog trainer's here. You've got your first anniversary next month, haven't you, of Galley Woofers?
Yes, we're very proud to say that we've all been training at Galley Woofers for a year next month. So we're going to have a little doggy party.
You're going to have doggy cake?
Yeah, all ex-Galleywoofers are welcome along, by the way, so if anyone's listening. Yeah, there's going to be doggy cake. There's going to be cake for humans as well. Tea, coffee, and maybe, I'm thinking about some champagne.
Oh, be rude not to.
Yeah, it'll be rude not to, yes.
Rude not to. More questions with Tony on the way next. If you've got a doggy question, get in quick.
Sunday Live with Essex Chambers of Commerce, the voice of business in Essex.
Really good. We've got Tony Cruz in the studio, TC dog training, and Motley the dog hasn't been doing any more barking, has he?
No, I think the walk wore him out.
Oh, that's good. So we've been taking questions all morning from you. Barry in Leigh-on-Sea has dropped us an email and said he's got a bit of a problem with his dog. He's quite unruly in the house. It's ruining the sofa, all that sort of thing. How can you control an unruly dog in the house? What can he do to calm the dog down?
Yeah, that's quite a common issue. I actually visit quite many houses and homes that have the same problem. But first of all, what you've got to look at is exercise stimulation. Is the dog getting appropriate exercise? And I don't just mean running along on a treadmill or just going around the block a few times. I mean the sort of stimulation that comes with a walk. Is the dog able to smell, run off the lead, meet other dogs, have a little play? All that sort of stimulation, that sort of thing, will actually wear the dog out quicker. So you've got to look at the exercise. Yeah, as we just did with Motley. He's a lot calmer when he's had a good walk. And then B, you've got to look at diet as well. I mean, there's various degrees of quality of dog foods out there, so do look at your dog foods. If that's all your dog's getting, then ensure that it's of good quality. If you feed some of the sort of lower priced foods, you do often see a little bit of behavioural issue as a result.
So it's like kids with E numbers and things, basically.
Yes, yeah, you get a little bit of basically it doesn't allow the dog to concentrate to the fullest degree. Yeah, so preservatives, additives, they can all manifest in behaviour. So diet, exercise, always two biggies, and also start rewarding appropriate behaviour. Yeah, so if your dog's jumping up at the sofa, before the dog jumps on the sofa, get your dog into a sit. Give your dog a bit of a fuss for sitting. Get your dog into a down. Praise your dog for being into a down. All these little things. Look for stuff to reward your dog rather than keep punishing as well. Often I find customers that have punished the dog to such a degree that the dog now is actually finding ways around the punishment. So they're actually avoiding the punishment, and they're even worse. Yeah. So punishment, physical punishment particularly, can be a big issue. I'm always on the side of trying to get something good and being positive about that good thing rather than keep punishing and saying no. Look for an alternative behaviour that a dog, that you can reward the dog for rather than keep punishing the dog.
That sounds good. I was going to play Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters, because we're talking about bad dogs. I just noticed I got Michael Jackson and Bad in the playlist, so I'm going to play that. So I thought that's quite appropriate, isn't it? So we'll load that up as well and have some Michael Jackson. This is Bad. Michael Jackson and Bad. We've got Tony Cruz here. Pippa's just phoned up, Tony, and she's got a problem with her dog. When she has to take him to the vet for his booster, he refuses to have a muzzle on, and the vet just can't get the injection in him. She ends up having to leave him at the vet's to get his injections. What's the advice for her on that one?
Yeah, this is where you need to get together with your vet and discuss getting a muzzle that the dog doesn't associate with the old muzzle, because apparently the dog didn't like that old muzzle. So you buy a nice new muzzle and feed the dog through the muzzle, because you can get muzzles where the dog can actually eat through, which is great. So you put the muzzle on for maybe 30 seconds, treat, take the muzzle off. Next day, put the muzzle on, a minute, treat, take the muzzle off. You've got to do that for at least 2 weeks to get that dog used to that muzzle. When the dog actually falls asleep in the muzzle, you know then that your dog is quite comfortable wearing a muzzle, and then you can look at the situation at the vets. If the dog's comfortable in the muzzle, then as soon as you pull up to the vets, you can then start feeding your dog through the muzzle, again to make the vets a nice positive association. The dog may well have had a bad association in the past at the vets. It's not all good stuff that you take the dog to the vets for. So you've got to then change that association, make it a good one. And again, I recommend using food. Go there a couple of visits, don't even go into reception, food, and go home. Next day, go into reception, food, go home, until you get the appointment. So build it up. make it a nice association.
Brilliant. Tony, as always, thank you so much for coming in, all your great advice. Sorry I didn't have time to get through everybody's calls and things, but we'll have to get you back again to do more dog things, and it's an excuse for me to cuddle Motley again.
Really enjoyed it.
Lovely. Everybody have a great weekend. Tracy Young is here next with Pure 80s, 4 hours of songs from the best decade of music ever. She's on the way next. Have a super Sunday. Take care, enjoy the weather, and we'll see you all next week.